Ever pondered upon the roots of Cleveland, the city that sits on the southern shore of Lake Erie? Let's wind the clock back to the late 18th century, to the year 1796. That was the year General Moses Cleveland, an ambitious surveyor from Connecticut, led an expedition to the wild frontier of the Western Reserve. There, on the banks of the Cuyahoga River, he laid the groundwork for a new settlement. This land, rich in resources and strategically placed, was christened Cleveland, a name that still rings out today. Cleveland's early growth was slow but steady. Its main source of livelihood was agriculture. But as the years rolled on, a significant shift was on the horizon. The dawn of the 19th century brought with it a marvel of engineering that would forever change the face of Cleveland, the Ohio and Erie Canal. This was no ordinary waterway. The Ohio and Erie Canal, completed in 1832, was a lifeline connecting Cleveland to the Ohio River. It opened up a vital trade route, creating a direct, waterborne link from the Great Lakes to the Mississippi River and beyond. This was a game-changer for Cleveland. The city became a key hub in a vast network of trade, attracting merchants, manufacturers, and settlers from all corners of the nation. The canal sparked an economic boom. Cleveland transformed from a quiet agricultural town into a bustling center of commerce, its population swelling by the thousands. The city's skyline began to change, with factories, warehouses, and homes sprouting up as if overnight. The hum of industry filled the air, and the city pulsed with the promise of prosperity. The Ohio and Erie Canal was more than just a waterway. It was the catalyst that set Cleveland on the path to becoming the vibrant, diverse city it is today. It marked the beginning of Cleveland's journey from a small frontier town to a major industrial powerhouse. With the aid of the canal, the city began its journey to prosperity, attracting settlers from far and wide. What transformed Cleveland into a major American manufacturing center during the Industrial Revolution? It was during the mid to late 19th century that Cleveland truly began to find its stride. As the nation found itself in the throes of the Industrial Revolution, Cleveland was at the heart of it all. The city's location along the Cuyahoga River and Lake Erie made it a prime spot for burgeoning industries, particularly steel. The rise of the steel industry in Cleveland was nothing short of meteoric. With vast iron ore deposits in the Lake Superior region and ample coal reserves in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, Cleveland became a hub for steel production. The city's factories were humming day and night, churning out steel for railroads, bridges, and buildings that were springing up across the nation. But steel wasn't the only industry that was flourishing. Enter John D. Rockefeller, a name synonymous with wealth and power. In 1870, Rockefeller established the Standard Oil Company in Cleveland. His business acumen and ruthless tactics quickly turned Standard Oil into the largest oil refiner in the world, further cementing Cleveland's status as an industrial powerhouse. The automobile industry also found a home in Cleveland. Alexander Winton, a Scottish immigrant, started the Winton Motor Carriage Company in 1897, making Cleveland the birthplace of the American automobile industry. With all these industries booming, it was only natural that people would flock to Cleveland in search of work. The city experienced a population boom, with a significant influx of immigrants from Europe. These new residents brought a diverse range of cultures and traditions, adding to the rich tapestry of the city. The Industrial Revolution was a time of tremendous growth and change for Cleveland. It transformed the city from a small trading post into a major American manufacturing center. It was a period of innovation and expansion that laid the groundwork for the city we know today. The Industrial Revolution indeed marked an era of great change and growth for Cleveland. Have you heard of the most notorious crime to ever darken the streets of Cleveland? Let's take a step back into the 1930s, a time when the city was gripped by a chilling terror, the Torso Murderer. Often referred to as the Kingsbury Run murders, this gruesome chapter of Cleveland's history began in September 1935. Over the course of 4 years, a series of murders were committed that shook the city to its core. The victims, 12 in total, were often society's most vulnerable. Drifters, the homeless, and those just trying to scrape by during the Great Depression. Each one was beheaded and often dismembered, their remains scattered in the area known as Kingsbury Run, a once bustling railroad area turned shantytown. The Torso Murderer was a phantom, a shadowy figure who evaded capture despite the best efforts of law enforcement. At the helm of the investigation was Elliot Ness, the city's safety director whose reputation had been built on his successful efforts to bring down Al Capone in Chicago. But the torso murderer proved to be a different kind of challenge, one that ultimately evaded Ness's grasp. The case was rife with dead ends and false leads. Despite thousands of hours of detective work and multiple suspects, the case remained unsolved. This lack of resolution left a lasting impact on Cleveland. The city's residents were left questioning their safety, their trust in law enforcement, and the very fabric of their community. The torso murderer had not just taken lives, but had also stolen a sense of security and peace. Over the years, the case has been revisited by numerous investigators and armchair detectives, drawn in by its unsolved status and its gruesome details. But despite the relentless pursuit of truth, the identity of the torso murderer remains a mystery. The torso murderer, a grim chapter in Cleveland's history, remains a haunting mystery to this day. And it serves as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the corners of any city, even one as vibrant and resilient as Cleveland. But what challenges does Cleveland face today, decades after its industrial heyday? The echo of the bustling factories and the clamor of the Industrial Revolution have long faded into the annals of Cleveland's history. Today, the city grapples with the realities of deindustrialization and the ripple effects it has cast onto the social and economic fabric of the community. A significant symptom of this change is the population decline. Once a thriving metropolis, home to nearly 1 million residents at its peak in the mid-20th century, Cleveland's population has dwindled to just under 400,000. This exodus has left a void, with neighborhoods scarred by vacant homes and businesses. The economic challenges haven't gone unnoticed either. The city's poverty rate stands at a staggering 30%, nearly double the national average. Unemployment, too, remains a persistent struggle, with the rate hovering around 7%. But, like the phoenix, Cleveland is determined to rise from the ashes. The city is pivoting away from its industrial past and embracing a future powered by healthcare and technology. The Cleveland Clinic, one of the best hospitals in the country, is a testament to this shift. It's not just a beacon of hope for those seeking top-tier medical care, but also a major employer, providing jobs to thousands in the city. Technology, too, is playing a pivotal role in Cleveland's reinvention. Tech companies, both startups and established giants, have begun to see the potential in this Midwestern city. They're drawn by the promise of a skilled workforce, affordable living, and a community eager for change. The journey of reinvention is not an easy one. It requires resilience, adaptability, and a vision for the future. But Cleveland, with its rich history and determined spirit, is up for the challenge. The city that was once the heart of America's Industrial Revolution is now poised to become a hub for healthcare and technology. Despite the hurdles, Cleveland continues to stride forward, finding new ways to reinvent itself. So, what's the essence of Cleveland's story? Well, it's a tale as rugged and enduring as the Cuyahoga River that courses through its heart. Cleveland's journey, like its river, has seen calm stretches, turbulent rapids, and dramatic falls, yet it has continued to flow, carving a path of resilience through the landscape of American history. From its founding in the late 18th century, Cleveland has been a city of pioneers, adventurers, and innovators. It was a beacon of the Industrial Revolution, a powerhouse driving the nation's growth. The city was built on the sweat and grit of its residents, who turned a fledgling settlement into a bustling metropolis. Yet, Cleveland has also known darkness. The infamous torso murderer, a specter from its past, left a grim shadow over the city. The city has grappled with modern struggles too, economic downturns, social unrest, and environmental challenges. But Cleveland, like its people, is not one to buckle under pressure. This is a city that knows how to rise from the ashes. Its spirit was born in the fires of the steel mills and the soot of the factories. It has been tested in the face of adversity, yet it persists, undeterred. Today, Cleveland stands as a testament to the resilience of its people. The city's history has shaped its character, molding it into a metropolis that is no stranger to hardship, yet never loses its determination. It's a spirit that can be seen in the revitalized neighborhoods, the thriving arts scene, the bustling eateries, and the people who call this city home. Cleveland's story is one of transformation and tenacity, of a city that refuses to be defined by its past, but uses it to shape its future. It's a city that embodies the ethos of the American dream, that with hard work, perseverance, and a little bit of grit, anything is possible. Cleveland's history, a tale of growth, challenge, and resilience, continues to shape its future. its story is far from over, as the city constantly evolves, embodying the indomitable spirit of its people.